Shalom. Kol Halal Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai Bahasham Makakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles. Double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. The 144,000 and the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth among the heathen that look like the heathen. And to the Akwath that are listening and learning, to you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm, and I want to open with a scripture. Let me go, Jeremiah. Let me go to Isaiah 34:8. And it reads, "For it is the day of Yahweh's vengeance, and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion." All right. What you're looking at on the screen is the beloved elder Manata Zakba and his brother. I forget the brother's name that's doing the work with him. That was on the street when these two Israeli women approached them, and across the street from them is a rally, of some Palestinians, and these two Israeli women came over to, and asked them questions and asked if she could interview them. So the brother entertained her and basically read her two very important prophecy scriptures that clearly identify that there's no way that they could be the people of the Lord, meaning she and her companion there, the woman who's kind of stepped away, is looking across the street at the people protesting for the Palestinians. But you also have a lot of Edomite support for the Israelis as well, and then you have a tremendous amount of Edomite support for the Palestinians. And and we don't have a dog in the fight. It's really not our business. The actual Israelites, when I say we, meaning myself and the two brothers here, all right, it's not our concern. It's not our, we're concerned with the scripture I just read coming to pass. And that's what's actually happening. That's why these people are at war. This is why Esau Edom is divided on this subject matter, as you're going to see, and as I play other videos. That's clearly the sentiment. All right. But, as a matter of fact, let's click to one of them now. And the more that these people are in disagreement, the further they get to the Valley of Jehoshaphat and this controversy of Zion leading the world into World War III, all right, which is going to help also speed up the other prophecies that need to take place in order for this to all be fulfilled, which is the crashing of the dollar, which is on its way. It's practically dead, especially come January 1st. And then the digital system that comes into place with it. So without any further ado, Raina Kalik and I forget this, and Abby here. I forget Abby's last name. Abby reminds me of one of my clients back in the day. Here we go.
It really does get to a point where it is threatened with serious eradication as a resistance force, then Hezbollah would have to get more involved. So it's a waiting game. This war at the south of Lebanon has been going on now for 37 days. It's escalated to the point where now the Israelis are hitting 40 kilometers into Lebanon. The rules of engagement are breaking down. Hezbollah is running out of targets to hit, and you can only go up the escalation ladder notch by notch for so long before it reaches that tipping point and triggers a bigger war.
And there it is. The bigger war is coming. All right? The other nations and other countries are vowing, to support either side. Okay? And the world is now aware of the oil under Gaza. The world is also aware of the plans to build a new canal twice the size of the Suez Canal, right? So that the West will have a say-so in the control of commerce. All right? This is the plan, and they need Gaza out the way. So America follows the same playbook. It demonized, you know, uh, the so-called, Negroes, the Israelites, as it was bringing them over here to serve slavery. It demonized the inhabitants of America, the Israelites, all right, the so-called natives of the Americas, the Northern Kingdom, all right, who went further into a land where never no mankind had dwelt. That was the Americas. They came here to the Americas, and they were demonized as Satan worshipers and heathens and cannibals and anything that they could do. All right. As a matter of fact, it's funny that all the things that they were accused of, Esau Edom is guilty of. All right. But they were demonized as they were cleared off their lands, the land removals, the Indian removal, this plan, the Indian removal, that's land, the land grabs. All right. So it's the same playbook. They did the same thing to the people in Australia, wherever Basra goes, which is why the Lord is going to destroy, mainly for what they did to his people, Israel, but what Edom has also done to the rest of the world, that fourth kingdom. All right. As a matter of fact, let's it says that was that in Ezra, or not the that last kingdom that I made to rule in my world. Let's see if I can find that real quick. Yep. Second Ezra 11 and 39. Are not thou it that remainest of the four beasts whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them? They're bringing on their own end by this division and going to war with each other. Remember, the rabbinical order is identifying American Christianity, white Christians, and European white Christians as Basra, as Edom. All right? Isaiah, the 63rd chapter, clearly tells you that the Lord returns to a world ruled by Edom. Yet Christianity has taught the Edomites were done away with. But the rabbis are saying, no, no, no. Christendom is Edom. Rome was Edom. Italy was Edom. All right? Well, the ruling class. That doesn't mean that everybody in Italy was an Edomite, but they were the rulers there during the time of Rome. They were the ruling class people. Because you got a lot of people that don't understand that Rome was like being in Manhattan today. All the nations of the world were there. All right. But the ruling class people was just like today, Edom. Okay. Verse 40. And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth, which with much wicked oppression, and so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit. And so these Edomites, since the Renaissance, have been deceiving the world. They whitewashed all the gods, the fake ones and the real ones. They whitewashed them, and they've lied about everything. And now they're claiming to be the people of the Lord, when the Bible clearly tells you when the Israelites go home, David, their king, will sit on the throne. All 12 tribes will be there, and there will be no more wars and peace on earth, which makes the people there not fit the prophecies, people, and they don't want to talk about it or acknowledge it. They just don't want to do it.
So, Scott, I have a question. I mean, I think the attack from...
And when it talks about Edom being red, come on, man. This is not red. Red and ruddy are not the same thing. Ruddy is talking about a maroonish brown color, or it's referring to of youth. I have a book behind me that has images of Memnon, the same Memnon for the movie The 300, and how he was dark as onyx. So see, not The 300, but Troy. You remember the guy who played Agamemnon, all right? He didn't look like Memnon is described in history, or the relics describe him. He was very, very, very dark, but he was also referred to as ruddy because he looked young. You see? So how can you get these men, these complexions, these faces, and connect that to ruddy? So that's another thing that Esau Edom does. The changing of the meaning of words. He did so many things to prop up his lies. But that's part of that ruling over the world, over the whole compass of the world with much great deceit. I had to say that, but let them continue to make this point.
From Hamas is a brutal attack, against innocent Israelis, and I think what we've seen is a huge outcry from, certainly the Western world, the United States and our allies, everyone standing very clearly with Israel. I mean, would you agree with this?
And that's a complete and total lie. All right, I just watched a video, where the Israeli is threatening to attack, destroy, and kill Americans for supporting Israel. All right. And the girl is a TikTok video. All right, I just watched it. I regret that I didn't save it so I could play it. Okay, and he was promising death and violence and destruction to the whole world. All right, so these people really are beside themselves with stupidity and vain belief. Because it's because of America that Israel even exists today, that it still stands. And now he's talking about attacking them. Wow. But here we go.
The rise of Hamas, I mean, they were democratically elected in 2006. Do you think that the reason for them being elected is simply the fact that these Palestinians felt no other option was left for them? The fact that they just didn't have a future, and so that they would resort to something of this extremism? I mean, I'm certainly under the belief that Hamas is definitely closer to a terrorist organization than a legitimate, freedom fighter. I mean, certainly carrying out those attacks. But I can also understand that probably the conditions that Israel created for Palestine is the exact breeding grounds for an organization like Hamas to be democratically elected and to, go carry out those attacks.
So I am not going to accept the idea that Hamas on October 7th was a terrorist organization. They were carrying out a military assault, and they carried out with far more precision and far less collateral damage than what Israel's doing. If you're going to call Hamas a terrorist organization, then every single Israeli pilot that flies over Gaza today and indiscriminately drops bombs that have killed 6,500 Palestinian civilians, over 1,000 of whom are children, then they are terrorists. And if they're terrorists, everybody who wears the green of the IDF is a terrorist, and every Israeli politician is a terrorist. And I think it's more accurate to call Israel the terrorist entity in this case than it is to say Hamas. The history of Hamas and the formation of Hamas is complex. They come from a Muslim extremist foundation. The Muslim Brotherhood is their ideological base. Unlike the Palestinian Liberation Organization, which is more secular in nature, Hamas is definitely very much fundamentalist in terms of their religious beliefs. The Israelis have been fostering Hamas from the very beginning. I mean, Hamas, was conceived by the Palestinians as its own thing, but it was the Israeli government that said, hey, this we can use. You see, Israel didn't want the Palestinian Liberation Army, or PLO, to become this powerful entity, because the last thing Israel wants is a viable Palestinian state. I'll say that one more.
Wow. That was a lot to take in. I suggest you rewind and listen to it again.
Time, just so people understand what I'm saying. Israel does not want a Palestinian state, never has, won't tolerate it. They've talked about it, but they knew they were never going to allow it to happen.
Especially now that the oil is there and they want to build that canal there. All right, so enough on that. We're not going to argue about politics and stuff with things that are not our concern, but this is our concern. All right, so the brother was just reading. Matter of fact, I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to let it play. And then he read Ezekiel 36:5, which clearly went right over this woman's head. Because it just dawned on me that she was actually being sincere. She wasn't like lying or anything like that. She really just didn't know. All right. And she also believes that the lies she's been taught is the truth. And admitted that she really don't know much about the Bible. And I understand why they focus mostly on the Torah with their teachings, because if they really start reading prophecies, maybe some of the Israelis will start putting two to two together and be like, wait a minute, we don't we don't match or fit that. So they just talk about the first 5 books, which is the Torah, and they really don't go into the prophecies, because guess what? When you go into the prophecies, it describes the condition and the physical being of the Israelites. And well, little girlfriend there, she ain't it. She don't fit it. All right. First of all, she's got all her hair. So does her friend. Right. And her hair, I'm sure her hair can grow down to her ass if she wanted it to. The so-called black woman, who is the true Judite woman, she got weave glued to her scalp. half her hair gone, and she could, only way she gonna get hair to her ass is if she buys it. All right, those are the curses. They don't fit the curses. All right. So let's read this. It's Jeremiah 23 and 5 and 6. Let's get that. And it reads, Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and the king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. Are the Israelis executing justice and judgment in the earth? No, look what they're doing to the palace. Look what they're doing to everyone around them. They're warring in Lebanon right now. Okay? It says, in his days, Judah shall be saved. All right? And Israel, meaning all the 12 tribes, the rest of the tribes, Judah is really representation of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. All right? All right? And it says, and Israel shall dwell safely. All right? And this is his name, whereby he shall be called Yahweh our righteousness. So look, or the Lord our righteousness. Look, when the Israelites go back to the land of Israel, there would be no more wars. The fact that the world is still at war, that there are wars going on in the earth, is evidence within itself that these are not the people of the book. This young lady and her and the people that are in the land of Israel that look like her for the most part, all right, because among some of them are our people. Israel scattered even among Amalek, even among the Edomites. All right. Some of our people are going to come looking like that. All right. Tina Marie, Justin Timberlake. There's certain individuals that's, but anyway, let's let it play.
And in the day Judah shall be saved.
In his days, Judah shall be saved. No, Judah is the tribe of Judah.
I'm Judah.
You say you Judah? We say we Judah.
Oh, sorry.
We're Judah. We're the scattered Judah, but you could be too.
You're dead and
You could be. We don't know. We don't know that.
I don't know too much about the Bible.
Go ahead. Well, see, that's the whole thing. We're Bible people.
So she admitted she don't know too much about the Bible, but then she didn't want to listen.
Go ahead.
And Israel shall dwell of safety.
Right. In that day, when the true Israelites go home, Israel going to dwell safely. You're not going to have to fight. Simple. Read that again. In his days, what?
Wow, I just realized she turned the camera just to get the big truck with the Edomite driving with the Israeli flags on it. She just wanted to catch that.
In his days.
In his days Judah shall be saved.
Right.
And Israel shall dwell safely.
Right. In his days, in the days of the Savior, this is when Judah and Jerusalem go home. Go ahead.
And this is his name, whereby he shall be called.
Right.
The Lord of righteousness.
The Lord our righteousness. Okay? So this is when you're gonna have peace. This is when you're gonna have justice is when the Lord comes. All this stuff is going on, it's all prophesied. Wars and rumors of wars. And eventually there's gonna be World War III and Armageddon.
Absolutely.
So this is what we talk about.
Something just not from the Torah.
Go ahead.
Give me 1 minute. Okay. Something super interesting in the Bible is in Judaism, every single week we read one chapter from the Torah. And it goes in chronological order. When the text happened, it happened at the beginning of Genesis.
Genesis was the beginning of time.
This is the beginning of time. This is the beginning of
It's not
time.
the beginning of time now. How's the beginning of time now? We ain't in the world. We're in the fourth day.
See, because you know why she said that? Because they go into another book and they're trying to match another book up. She's saying this is the beginning of time now. That's the craziest thing that I've ever heard. Look, let me go to Isaiah 34 again. And it's funny that the controversy of Zion and then this scripture is in the same chapter. Seek ye out of the book of Yahweh and read. That's the Bible. That's the book that the elder Manat Zakba is holding, not the Talmud. Judaism is based in the Talmud. All right. Seek ye out of the book of Yahweh and read. No one of these shall fail, meaning the prophecies. None shall want her mate, for my mouth hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them. All right. So you can't match another book up to the prophecies in the Bible. There's nothing, no other book that matches with it. And that's why she just spewed this madness that won't line up with scripture.
This is for Israel, not for America. This is for us, the beginning
The whole
times.
world is one place.
I'm saying every single week we read the chapters. When this happened, it
Okay.
happened during Genesis. That's not the main point.
Forest prophecy.
Hold up.
Go
I
ahead.
didn't. No, I'm not prophesizing anything.
No, I'm saying
No, he just said, look, that's a false prophecy. That's just a made up man, a doctrine of man. She just said. That's not backed up by any scripture anywhere. The Talmud doesn't matter. It's not the book of God.
go ahead.
All I'm saying is the week after, it's in chronological order. You have to read it. It's the
Not in
story of
chronological
no. You didn't even know. You don't even know the Jewish. What are you saying? It's not in
You
chronological
said you read it out of the Torah.
In Torah.
Torah's in
it's
here.
not what you're not
It's in here.
You're completely not understanding.
You trying to make us believe
I'm not
that
saying.
in-
I'm saying
in the
every
world,
single
not
week.
at the
According,
beginning.
no. I'm done.
Yeah, you good. We read it to you. Went right over your head.
Yeah, because he already read Ezekiel 36 and 5. He told, let's read that. All right. Let's read that real quick. They read Ezekiel 36 and 5, and they literally told her, look, you're not an Israelite. You're not a Judah. All right. You're an Edomite. He was basically telling her, look, you're Esau. All right. Let's go to Ezekiel real quick. He read it and it went right, because she's so Ezekiel 36 and 5, it says, therefore, thus saith the Lord power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of all the heathen and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. And that was the fulfillment of the Balfour Declaration. The Idumeans, Amalek, posing and appointed the Lord's land into their hands, all right, and went in and has caused this controversy with the Palestinians, and neither of these people belong in that land, all right? That's not their land. They went into to occupy that land in the absence of the Israelites, all right? But it says, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. All right. So the prey of Israel has been cast. The Israelites have been casted out as prey. All right. And all these heathens are now in the land. Okay. And as she's being pointed at as she's walking away, that went right over her head. The prophecy of the Lord. Okay.
Yeah. You trying to make us believe that they the Israelite. You're not the Israelite, lady, okay? We try to be nice, but it is what it is. We done. Okay, brother, let's keep going. Cause she trying to incriminate us. We ain't with the Palestinians and we ain't with the Israelis. We with our people.
Exactly.
You know? Goodbye. Yeah, definitely devils. Yeah, rather Ezekiel 36 and 5 went right over her damn head. Sure, she didn't get it. But she don't have to get it because it ain't for them. It's for us. Now watch YouTube try to do something to us for that.
Probably gonna do something to me for this.
We just gonna tell your ass the truth. I was trying to be clever with my words because I know she was trying to say. What the brother say? Yep. He tried to get us to say that we with Hamas. We ain't with no fucking Hamas. We don't give a fuck about them. That people was the ones created it. She don't believe it though, but that's all right. The old saying, you can't see the forest for the trees. You in the damn forest. Looking for the forest. Where the forest at?
And that is exactly it. That was beautiful, brother. Hey, so point has been made, man. This controversial Zion is just gonna continue to rage on until all things lead to two things now at this point. The MOTB, all right, and the armies of the world being brought down into the valley of Jehoshaphat for judgment, because the Lord is about to level this place and raise up Israel. Kwam Yasharallah. Call halal Yahweh Shem Abishai Barakatham. Shalom.